Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. This is a video. It was played on Fox News as well. This gentleman was a guest. It's a Board of Education meeting. Takes place in North Carolina. I forget the city. And this gentleman comes up, and I'm going to call this Parents Get It, Government Officials Don't. And I include school board members. Now, I'm a former city councilman in the early 2000s, so I've gone through hundreds of hours of public comment. And I'll tell you, this guy hits it right on the head. This race-baiting CRT progressive nonsense is causing divisions, and that's what they want. So rather than listen to my ramblings, let's check out this young gentleman. Well, compared to me, he's young, and see what he has to say.
The CRT deal, because it's happening, and as a parent, I speak to other parents. There's a few things that we don't want. I'm biracial. I'm bilingual, I'm multicultural. The fact is, in America, in North Carolina, I can do anything I want, and I teach that to my children. And the person who tells my little pecan-colored kids that they're somehow oppressed based on the color of their skin would be absolutely wrong and absolutely at war with me. And I think that's the same for every parent. What the mask showed us is that the parents, the most powerful group of people in our country, that they're taking back the wheel. Now, obviously, we had to take the wheel back for the mask, but we're taking the wheel back from Washington all the way to Raleigh and into our local school board. Because CRT, all of that, the parents don't want it. It's a big fat lie. There's not one, if you believe in CRT, I want to tell you you're a liar. Because that means you look at your black neighbor and say that.
Now, look what happens. When he says you believe in CRT, you're a liar. And a few seconds goes by, and watch what happens.
They're oppressed, and you look at your white neighbor and say that they're evil regardless of the experience that you've had with them. And we're not going to do that. The parents in the United States.
As soon as he said, if you believe in CRT, you're a liar, in come law enforcement. Probably sheriff's department. I'm not sure if it's a local police or not. Doesn't matter. And that's the point of all of this. They don't want to hear that. He called them a liar, and he knows what he's talking about. He's a non-white gentleman with non-white kids. He's biracial himself. Business owner. I heard on the Ingram Angle he's going to run for state assembly. Good for him. Obviously not as a Democrat. I'm not sure where this is in North Carolina. Like any other state, there's red areas and blue areas. But the point I wanted to make was, look what happened. As soon as he said that, in come the guns. These guns that the progressives hate so much, they don't mind using them or using them to intimidate other people, though. Let's listen on.
States of America, right here in North Carolina and Cabarrus County, we know that's not true because we believe the lives we live. The fact is, I've been a business owner right here in North Carolina, and I deal with white people, black people, Hispanic people. My children deal with everybody. And the racism is only happening at the government level and on the media. The fact is, you have racists, and you can't even find them hardly. You just hear the stories about them. But this is what we're dealing with. The parents are taking the wheel. I have
This is the progressive Democrats' worst nightmare. A non-white person, in this case a male, articulate, good-looking guy. You can tell he's no dummy. He believes with his heart what he's saying, and he's right. But he's against what the progressives want. And this is their worst nightmare. Now, most progressives would call this guy a white supremacist because white isn't an ethnic background. White is a mental state of mind. And this is how distorted and twisted this has gotten. Look in the crowd. You see one black lady there. She's sitting there at the desk. I'm assuming she works for the school district. Not a lot of color in the room. And every single one of those people nod their heads. What does that tell you? And then when he says CRT is a lie, and if you believe in it, you're a liar, they bring in the guns to intimidate. Well, they'll say, well, it's for our personal safety. I'm going to say it right out. Bullshit. It's there to intimidate. And he could have cared less. Let's listen to the rest.
8-year-old daughter who is absolutely dynamic, who can do anything. Athletically, intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally, she is a dynamo. And I don't want a man swimming against her in the pool. The fact is, I don't want her playing against boys in soccer. I don't even let my sons rough her up. Do you think I'm going to let your son rough her up? This is what we're talking about. Policy going back to the parents. Because if you think people who love America are willing to fight for it, you haven't met parents yet. Because I'm telling you, parents will go further down any street than anyone who loves their country alone. My name is Brian Echeverria. I thank you for your service, and we're taking back the wheel.
Thank you for being here. Okay, our last speaker.
Well done. I have to say, very well done. And that is their biggest nightmare. Their biggest nightmare is a non-white, articulate, educated. You don't have to be educated, just be articulate. But you have to be non-white and disagree with them. And that makes you dangerous in the enemy. And they would do everything they can to destroy you. Now, here's the thing. This isn't about race, really. This isn't about prejudice, really. This isn't about trans rights or any of the rest of the progressive nonsense. This is about power and control. We get to say what the school district teaches your children, and you need to sit down and shut the F up. We know better than you because we're government. And this gentleman is saying, you think there's people mad that love this country? Just what Steve Bannon said, 6-8 months ago on Timcast IRL, when this first started in Loudoun County, if you remember. And Loudoun County is like 100 yards away from Tim's studio, even though he's in Maryland. Loudoun County in Virginia is right across the street, basically. You're going to piss off the mama bears? Really? You think you're going to win against them? And it crosses all races, all socioeconomic lines. You piss off somebody's mother especially, he called them mama bears, you're going to lose. And they're still doing it. And they're losing and they know it. Because this isn't about equality. This isn't about anything. It's about power and control. And they're losing the power and control. And they are terrified and scared. And when somebody has power and authority and they're scared and terrified, they will lash out at everybody in their way, and it makes them incredibly dangerous. Hats off to this guy. I wish I could vote for him, but unfortunately I don't live in North Carolina. But write down his name. He says it at the end. And if you can vote for this guy, do it. Even if you don't agree with him, vote for him anyway. Just to show the powers that be, you can't tell us how to live our lives and raise our children. We have the power and control, not you. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.